everyone and welcome back. In this video I will be teaching you how to play Franz Liszt Liebestraum, and is also known as Love Dream. The first thing that you should know is the A flat major scale. If you know that scale, then you will understand that the whole melody is based on that scale. So we have this melody. Okay, so if you have the melody like that, he's going to start harmonizing, and because we're in A flat major, we also use the same chord for the first melody. So we're going to flip these notes, we're going to put A flat here and C here. And we have the melody and this chord. All he's going to do is move it around, so he will play C. Okay? And then it's going to fill up the rest of it with the left hand. So we have E flat to start with, and we go to A flat, C, and then we change. Just keep in mind the chord, so that means, so we have two of them, and you will have to move it. When we go here, he's going to change the chord, and he's going to base this on a C7 chord. C7 is like this. The only thing is he's getting rid of G, put it on the bass, and adding a C here. So when you play C, you have two of those, and he'll move it. Rest, melody again, and change. So let's play these two measures. The first one with an A flat major chord, and the second one with a C7. Melody in the middle. Change to G, C7, rest. Okay, when we get there, that means we started on an A flat chord, peacefully. C7, a little bit of tension there. Melody and melody. Okay. Next measure is going to be based on an F7 chord. This sound, and if you bring it and voice it the same way we were voicing, pretty much on the middle of the keyboard here, from C to C, we have these notes. The F is on the bass, and what we did is flip these notes, bring the F below, and those two, A and E flat and C, bring it all the way up. So we have this. That would be the background right here. So when we do it one hand, notice the melody and the harmony on the top. So when we play together with F, D flat, and we change now again to a different chord. Now I'm going to play one time slowly, and remember that you could count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. If you do it a little bit faster, you could get to this. He put dolce, so it should be piano. It should be legato, and it says with affection. So. Here we have a crescendo. Notice the dissonance. B flat and C will sound like this. It's open, so it doesn't sound like that, but it does create tension. He put a dynamic to do a crescendo there when you get there. Now next chord, you have this, which it comes from a D minor 7 flat 5 over B flat, I could say. So when you play the C, you have two of those, and the F is missing. He will use it as part of the melody here. So we'll have this. On the rest we put the F, F again, and we get there. So one more time, the D minor 7 flat 5. Okay? Next step would be the chords on the top. We have the melody first, flat, resolving to A flat. So right hand will play this note and then this note. You could think it as two chords. This one first, D flat, E flat, C, and then we have this D flat, E flat, G, which comes from an E flat 7 chord. So we have one of this, rest, one of this, rest, and we go to A flat. With the melody we have, we get to the high note C and we resolve back. When we get to A flat, we have this note, part of the same chord. Then we go bass, A flat, and we do kind of an inversion of the same notes, different order. So we have A flat, C, A flat, E flat, A flat. And he adds an E again to begin again the melody. And start back. In some editions, this is played with the left hand. I'm already there, so I take it with the same hand. Now, it's important that you could analyze a little bit the background and just play that without the melody. We discussed that the melody does this. And then you could play with different values according to your understanding of what music is and your values about it. Now, chords, you should also practice separate hands, and within the hand, the melody and the chord separate. So you could do this. So you could do the A flat, C7, F7, D minor 7, E flat 7, A flat. I'll do it one last time. So this is just to memorize and give you more freedom, the knowledge of harmony on the right hand. Then you add the melody with the bass. As a bass, we have the beginning of the piece, we have A flat, G, and F. And we go to B, E flat, E flat, A flat, and it starts over. So we add all that together, all three voices. So we have melody, bass, and the arpeggios on the right hand. We have three voices, so we play that. And then maybe you start singing that melody. This knowledge of dividing the harmony, the melody, and the bass will give you a better understanding of what the piece is all about, and eventually cuts the time. It becomes very simple and it flows because you worked it out on your brain and your mind and your ears separately. Next part is going to use the same thing. So in the first thing we did, crescendo, resolving, repeat. Here, the only thing I have to mention is that the chords remain the same, but he's gonna use, instead of going A flat, G, F, he's gonna use a chromatic scale to go to the F, that G flat that we have. Okay, so when we do it, we have the same A flat like before. We go to C7. Now on the rest we put G flat, melody, and F7. Different approach to get to the same note. That's very interesting because at the beginning we went straight forward. To approach the F7 we did this. We're adding the G flat, so we do. Same thing, but adding this chord. Changing a little bit the notes here. E flat, F. And going to a new chord, a B flat 7. B flat 7 is like this, with the A flat in it. But he will open all these notes. And then do an open voicing like this, which is the same. You have the D, the F, and then doing an inside voice. So we could take it with the left hand, or we could do the right hand is already there with the accent. Tenuto, bass, together, and the same melody repeats with different harmonies. So let's talk a little bit about that. So for this part, A flat, so we have these two chords. Then we have the C, C7, bass, C7 again. This chord, open. That's important that you understand and group all these notes. If I had to do it slowly for you to see each one of them, so we have this. Left, going to a C7, crescendo, chromatic scale to get to F7, melody, augmented tension, F, and move it around, inside, flat 7, A flat again, there you have the chord. Okay, I think I used to think it almost like it's the same thing with these little changes. So we have this, same, same. Now, that's the different note. Same, different, just that, and the different arpeggio here, and here's different. B flat 7, same left hand but different right hand. E flat 7, same again. A flat chord, the same chord. Okay, let's play up to that point. Always analyze the melody, the background, and then the bass, and you can't go wrong with it. Now the melody is gonna be on the thumb. So we have that. So when you do the A flat, now melody. Now when you play that, you have to think on this chord, D flat minor. So the E is placed below and the A flat on top. Then we run that, and this is going to be 2 times, like that. So it's very simple. If you think on the chord D flat minor, bring the E below. Also, then after you do D flat E, which is these 2 notes, open. So we have chromatic, back, same chord, and then we go to A flat again. So let's play it now. Notice we get the C, and if we have a C, usually we do this note, so we run those notes. We do the bass A flat. Now we have that melody there, and we do the same. So When you do the C, we're gonna do an F minor. Then you have it. Half step going up again, same chord, to get to C major. So one last time, F minor, still F minor, to C major. Notice that C, G, C major is like this. We use the E on the top, but the C and the G, they're open right there. Then we run C major, so C major inversions, so we run from there. And that E on the bass has an accent, so and is longer, so you could have it the whole time. Now from major we're gonna go to minor now, change your color. You can see the minor here, major, minor on the top chords. So E 2 times and move it. A minor. So you see A, E, C, A minor. So I have that chord on the top. E major now. So I have this. So E, B, and G sharp, E major here. See, this is inversion again, 2 and 2. Now here you have the same chord again. And now it's a C sharp minor with a C on the top. Pause, melody. Another chord, same again, but written with flats. E flat major, and we get there. So for the next part, what you need to think is a little bit on the melody. So when we have this, think on that, and then we put all the other notes. So let's say we have melody here on the thumb to D flat, left hand, B flat, left hand, back, and we get here to the fermata. So let's do it together now. So when you put this, all you do is stand those notes. You have a D here, you stand it here. You have a G here, you stand it here. And you add the same note here. So it's all the same. Now we're going to change to this. So if you move it now, move it. We add a little melody. We go back. E flat major now. We move it at A flat, B flat, back to the same. Instead now we use a B instead of the D flat. Same again. And E. We get there to the fermata and we have kind of portato note. Kind of empty sounded. Okay, I think I'm gonna play a little bit this, and I hope this was helpful. Let's continue. Major, more color. Agitato, minor. Crescendo again. And we get there. And we're gonna start this. You have to think it like an E flat 7 chord. E is here, B is here, D is here, and then we have the G open. So most of the time this G comes a 10th. So the third from the chord is making it a 10th Franz Liszt. So we go like this, arpeggio, and now we're gonna have this. So what I recommend here, once you get here, is looking at the chords a little bit. All you need to do for this is that we're gonna be playing a D flat minor with an E flat. E flat is like this, D flat is like this. Why do I say that? Because it's gonna help you understand it. Now the next two notes you'll see that that's this. So if you have the D flat major, you flip the chord, you get the same chord, and he's gonna move it like this to an E flat. Now he facilitated this because instead of doing it with one hand, he's gonna do this. Notice it's the same sound with two hands. Think on the chord inversion of D flat minor and going to E flat, and then split it between the hands. 2, 5, 1, 3. And if on the chord you go down on this one up, that means you have to do the same, down, up. Now, that's it for that one. So if you do, we have a simpler pattern. There you have it. Now, if you did this, and if you do the inversion, so if you flip this chord, and you flip also the E flat, you get this. So that's what he does. So he's taking it with two hands. When doing it with one hand, would have been more difficult. Here you have it in root position, D flat to here. And then repeat itself. So you get here and you see the same inversions repeat. So it's very important this. So you will have to know the D flat minor inversions and also E flat. And if you can, to have a sense of what you're doing, play it with one hand. So that means D flat minor to E flat, 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 and so forth, D flat minor to E flat, until you get here. Then you make it simpler because you're gonna know where you go down and up. So you go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, each time for the chord. And then when you divide it with two hands, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But it's important that you could hear by chords. First chord, D flat minor to E flat, D flat minor inversion to E flat inversion, same inversions, D flat minor to E flat flipped, comes from here, same. Now here repeats all of it through the octaves. So I think we have solved that problem, and if you think it like this, you will master easily. The other thing is for the right hand, I recommend this finger, 2, 5, 2, 4, and 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, and then repeat. Left hand always 1, 2. Only here you do second. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you do it together. Down, up, down, up, down, up. If you need some momentum, you could start it a little bit slower from here. And then speed it up as you go higher. You could practice with rhythm. So the down, up has to be here. Down, up. So let's say we do slow, fast to the next, fast to the next. Or the opposite. You put a little bit of pedal, sometimes it helps because the dampers lift and the keyboard is lighter that way. If you keep the less pedal, it will costs you more energy because you have to strike the key and the damper have to come up all the way up. So this way is a little bit lighter, easier to play it and create the effect that is very quickly. So just remember those two chords, D flat minor and E flat. Remember the up down movement. Remember that you could play with one hand all of this, so that will teach you a lot about the sense of it. You could do accents, accent on the first one, release, accent, accents on the second one. Now let's try to play it. And diminuendo. One of the important things is try to match it. If you are playing a melody like this, it's not necessary to do it, even though it's a cadenza, that quickly. So it sings still. Crescendo, diminuendo, and we go to the next theme. Once you get to the top, notice this, that it's still the same inversions. Right? So we're always working with D flat and E flat. Right hand slowly. So you can see the fingers. Do it together. 1. So to practice, I will do the same rhythms, fast and slow. Opposite. When you go quickly, you could do an emphasis to rest on this interval. So you start here, you lighten up here, there. A little pause to be able to gain a momentum to play the rest. So here. I think that's very important. So when you do it slowly, both hands, down up each time. Here, pause, and you get there. I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed, subscribe. Thank you very much.